Hey guys, it's Emma and we are back in my car. I'm sorry if you guys don't like the car setup, but my lamp in my room broke because of a certain little kitty. She freaking broke my lamp, so the lighting in my room is shit. So we're just gonna put up with the car setup for now. But anyways, today's video is gonna be about some more awkward moments that have happened to me in the past. I was sitting trying to think of things to tell you guys, and I thought of one thing from middle school, and then it just led to another memory from middle school, and another memory from middle school, and another memory from middle school. So that was a depressing moment in my life, but I've got some good content for you now. Alright, so the first one I'm going to tell you guys, I think that I was 10 or 11 years old. I can't remember exactly how old I was, but I went to Seattle to visit my dad. And at the time, I was really big into drawing. I still like to draw, but I don't draw as much as I used to in this time period. So I always kept a sketchbook with me. And this is really weird to tell you guys. So at the time, I was going through puberty, so I was really confused about like what was going on with me. And I thought that big boobs were really hot. I was really into really big boobs, because I have itty bitty ones and I was like, I want mine to be fucking huge like that. So I would draw girls with really big boobs all the time, and they weren't like naked, not all of them, but they would just have big boobs. No matter what they were wearing, what they were doing, they just had big boobs. And my dad knew that I'd like to draw, but he didn't know that I liked to draw that kind of stuff. So he told his friend whose house we were staying at's son that he should check out my art sometime, because this kid was also into art, I think. And I was like, yeah, sure. Please don't. So he ended up actually looking through my sketchbook, and without telling me beforehand, and he came up to me and he was like,
so, look through your sketchbook.
That was my cat. She's on the roof of my car right now. So yeah, that was really, really awkward. I don't know if he told my dad or not. I don't think he did, because I don't remember my dad saying anything about it. But yeah, it was really weird because this kid was a boy and I was very shy and I felt uncomfortable around guys that I wasn't friends with. So, and especially for him to see that kind of stuff and have that impression of me, I was so mortified in that moment. I got so red. I don't remember what I did or what I said back to him about it, but I just remember it being so incredibly uncomfortable. Okay, so the next three stories are gonna be the ones from middle school. So one year, I can't remember if it was my 7th or 8th grade year, but I have always really been into Halloween and I've always loved dressing up, except for one year I was really iffy about dressing up, but I ended up dressing up anyways. So I've always really liked dressing up for Halloween, and I especially in middle school and elementary and high school, just all of my school years, I loved to show up to school in costume because I just felt like, I don't know, like we were in some supernatural fantasy world because everyone was dressed up like something else, and like I just thought it was really freaking cool. So this specific year at my middle school, I was kind of indecisive about what I wanted to be for Halloween. I knew that I wanted to dress up, but I did not have any idea what I wanted to dress up as. So I was also a scene kid at the time. And no shame towards you if you're a scene kid, I just personally cringe at myself for the things that I did and wore as a scene kid. But I decided that for Halloween, I wanted to be the most rainbowy person possible. I wanted everything I had on my body to be rainbow or colorful if I could not get it to be rainbow. So I will insert a photo of what my costume looked like. There was 2 different versions. I did one where at school it was just like all rainbow stuff. And then when I went actually out into the world dressed like it, like, you know, to go get some motherfucking candy. But so, yeah, I was really used to just on Halloween day, you just come to school in your costume. Like, I felt like it was an unspoken rule. And this year, I believe Halloween was on the weekend, so I couldn't come to school on Halloween day dressed up. So we had a Halloween dance on a school day. So I was like, oh, well, maybe this is what they're making up for not being able to do actual Halloween. Like, maybe they'll let us dress up on the day of the Halloween dance. So I showed up to school wearing this costume, and I get off the bus, and I can already see that nobody else is wearing a costume. I could see it on the bus, obviously, because there are other kids on the bus, but like, I didn't think that it was gonna be like the whole school. I thought it was just maybe these kids didn't dress up specifically, and that maybe some other kids at school dressed up, but just weren't on my bus. But no, I was the only person to dress up. The only person. And you know what? I didn't bring a change of clothes with me to school, so that's how I looked for the entire school day. Did I care a little bit because I felt weird that I was the only one in costume? But it wasn't like full, like actual, like Halloween specific costume, you know what I mean? Like, it's not something that you would like buy at like Kmart as an actual like costume of something, you know? So I thought maybe this is fine. Like, I'm not breaking any dress code rules. I'm just wearing a lot of rainbow today. And this one girl that I knew who was a grade lower than me, I thought she was really cool because she was really social and she was really pretty and she had a lot of friends and she did her makeup super cool. I just really thought she was beautiful, and I didn't know her that much as a person, but what I had gotten was that she was kind of self-absorbed, but I still wanted her to like me because that's kind of how it was in middle school. You want the popular kid to like you, especially when you're an outcast like I was. Like, I just wanted to fit in. So she comes up to me, and I got really excited because I was like, ooh, she's gonna like maybe say something and compliment my outfit. And I also had like a feeling of dread because I was like, what if she hates it? What if she judges me? Like, I'm really... So she already has this look of like, what the fuck is going on her face. And I just kind of tried to ignore it so that I didn't feel that bad because I had nothing else to wear. But she comes up and she was like,
wow, somebody's looking rainbowy today.
So I don't know if she was trying to insult me or not. I still don't know because I don't talk to her. We were never actually like friends. But I was like, thanks? Question mark? So I can't specifically say that that was embarrassing, but now that I look back on it, I kind of think maybe she was judging me a little bit. I can tell you everyone else at school was judging me though. I got lots and lots of comments on that outfit. So this next one is a little gross, and if you don't like the topic of puberty or feminine women puberty, go ahead and just skip past this, because it's not like gruesome and it's not like super in detail, but it does have mention of period blood. So when I was in middle school, I don't know if I've told you guys this or not, I feel like I have, but I was really uncomfortable with feminine stuff. I did not like the idea of puberty. I did not like anything about it. I didn't like panties. I thought they were disgusting. I didn't like bras. They made me uncomfortable, like emotionally uncomfortable, not physically necessarily. And just the whole idea of becoming a woman just made me feel weird, like really weird. And I tried to stay away from it as much as I could. But one day in class, I got my period, and I didn't realize until it had already bled and leaked through my pants. And at the time, I wasn't super into wearing black pants, so I was wearing like blue jeans and denim jeans and stuff like that. So it was very, very noticeable that there was blood on my pants. I was really embarrassed and I didn't know what to do. I didn't want to tell anyone because I did not want anyone to know that this was happening to me. I didn't even want to tell a teacher because I was too embarrassed, which I should have, so that this next part wouldn't have happened. But so I tried hiding it with my backpack by just like loosening up the straps to the point where they were all the way out. Like, you know, this part, like to where it was all the way extended, so that it would cover my butt, so nobody would see the blood. And obviously, like, a backpack's only gonna do so much, so I kind of leaned back a little bit so that way it would hang down a little bit lower. And obviously I couldn't see my backside, so I didn't know for a fact that this was indeed hiding it. And so I was walking into my next class, and there was a bunch of people behind me. I was super nervous because I was like, oh my god, what if they see it? Like, oh my god, like, this is so embarrassing. And I heard a girl behind me say to somebody next to her,
"Oh my god, I really hope that's ink."
and I don't know if she was talking about me or not, because I didn't turn around and be like, oh, like, what are you talking about? And she didn't confront me about it, so I have no idea if she was talking about me or not, but it still made me really self-conscious, and it was really embarrassing. So life lesson, if you are in middle school or high school or whatever, and you bleed through your pants and you're really embarrassed and don't want to tell anyone because you don't want anyone to know about it, please just tell a teacher or something. Get some pants, get some new pants, get something down there, like a pad, tampon, whatever. Teachers will understand. It's a natural thing that women go through. It's okay. So this next story takes place my 7th grade year of middle school. My 6th grade year of middle school, I went to a different middle school. And my 7th grade year, I transferred to the middle school that the last story was about. So I knew some of the kids there from elementary school because the middle school that I went to my 6th grade year was in a different town than my elementary school and the middle school that I transferred to. Then I ended up moving back to the town, which is where I'm at now. So I was acquainted with some of the people there, but I wasn't friends with them. I was only friends with like 1 or 2 people, and one person especially, and I have made a video about her before. I didn't give her a name, so we're just gonna call her Jackson for this video. But if you wanna know the story that I told before about her, I'll link it down below. So Jackson was never really the nicest friend to me. She was really controlling and rude and manipulative and a liar, and I was a really big pushover, so I just kind of let her do it sometimes, most of the time. So me and her were hanging out because I wasn't friends with anyone else, and she was kind of popular. So I thought, okay, well, if I hang out with her, then maybe I'll meet people that she's friends with, and maybe they'll be my friends. So on the first day of school, it was me and her, and we were sitting on a bench in the quad area of the middle school. Just me and her. We weren't really talking that much. I didn't really know what to talk about. She was just being really oddly quiet. So I felt a little weird because she was usually really talkative. And then out of nowhere, Jackson gets this really like disgusted, concerned look on her face. And she goes,
"What am I doing right now? I could be talking to important people."
And then got up and walked away. I was really confused because I didn't know what I had done wrong. And I thought she was my friend. So I was like, what, am I not important? Like, what? So yeah, that made me feel really bad, especially on my first day at a new middle school. So this next story, it's pretty short. I lost this tooth in middle school, and because of how my teeth are, I have a really small jaw and it needs to be expanded, but I'm just too afraid to go to the dentist to do that. But because of how my teeth are set, this tooth, when it fell out, the new one did not grow in for 2 years. So in middle school, this was a very noticeable spot to have a missing tooth, by the way. Very noticeable. Every time I smiled, it was just gap. Big ass gap. Everyone could see it. Everyone could tell I had a missing tooth. And it made me feel really weird because, like, in elementary school, that's normal. Whatever, you lose your baby teeth, you grow them in. That's just a little kid thing. But in middle school, I was like, I'm like an adult. Why am I losing my teeth? I was really concerned because I thought it was never gonna grow back in. So the last story I have about middle school for today is about the 8th grade play that I was in. So the 8th grade play that I was in, it was about a crime scene, a murder to be specific, and I was one of the detectives. There were 3 or 4 detectives, I don't remember, I think maybe 3. But this was my first time ever really being on a stage play. I had like done like church concerts before when I was little, but I had never been like in an actual play. So I was really nervous. I was scared. Like, I had such bad stage fright that I was like, I'm gonna shit myself. And because I was so nervous about having to go up on stage in front of so many people and perform in front of not only the audience but also the people I'm in the play with, I had a little bit of a hard time memorizing some of my lines. And that's normal. Like, lines aren't always easy to memorize. And in this specific play, my teacher had actually written this play, so there's no way you guys could know what play I'm talking about unless I were to like send you a video link to it, which is nowhere. But all the detectives had play on word names. So my name was Watt. So if somebody said what, I would have to think that they were talking to me. So there was a specific part at the end of the play where all the detectives, because our names were play on words, we would have a part where we would all be doing it back and forth just for a little bit for like comedic effect, you know? And that was one of the biggest parts I had trouble memorizing because I couldn't get the order correct, and I just couldn't remember like the specific thing that you had to say back to the person. So I had a hard time memorizing that, and my teacher was really mad at us that we hadn't memorized it, so she put all the detectives into a room and had us practice that scene over and over and over until we memorized it. One of the detectives was this girl that I sort of knew. I wasn't friends with her, but we weren't like enemies. We didn't hate each other. We just didn't really know each other that well. She was getting really mad that I could not memorize the lines as quickly as everyone else was. So whenever my lines would come up, I would like forget that I was supposed to have my line then, and she would start talking over me and start reading my lines for me, which made me really mad because I was really trying and I was new to this whole thing, and she had done this sort of thing a lot in the past. She was really into the performing arts, and I hadn't really done that kind of stuff yet. But I was really shy and not a confrontational person, so I just kind of let it slide, kind of sunk into my shell and was like, oh, like, sorry. But I got the lines down, play happened, and then there was this one scene where all the detectives were walking around the stage looking for evidence because it was... Oh, sorry, I saw my cat in my mirror. We were looking around the stage for evidence because, again, this was a play about a murder. So there was a part where I had to pick up a bat and a pillow from behind the backstage. And then my lines, when I came out, had to do with the bat and the pillow. Like, I mentioned both of them. And when the part came up about the pillow, I looked at my hand and I realized I forgot the pillow. So I just was like, I just didn't really know what to do in the moment. So I just kind of stood there looking at my hand like, wait, what? And so the same girl, she looks at me and she goes,
I think you may have forgotten something.
and then she walks off and goes and grabs it for me. And like, again, I just let it slide because I didn't know what to do. We were in front of a bunch of people. I didn't want to be like making like a scene that wasn't a part of the play, you know? I just wanted it to go how it was supposed to. So I let it slide, but in my head I was thinking like, if this were an actual like real life thing happening right now, and we were actually detectives at a crime scene, you would not know the evidence that I had found to show you guys because I had not shown you guys yet. So yeah, that was embarrassing and it made me really uncomfortable. I really didn't like her after that. Like, I had no beef with her before, but now I was like, yeah, I definitely don't like you. So yeah, those are the awkward moments that I could think of for you guys for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope this makes you guys feel a little bit better about the awkward things that have happened to you in your life and the things that are to come. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!